jump out of his car and get the crew working on the broken side shaft, spurring them on as they got to work. Lawrence was driving superbly and was deservedly in the lead of the rally at this point.
It looks like you're starting the new year on the same note you finished the old one.
Yeah, it's early days yet, but yeah, we can't complain. We've got a little bit more power and it's going well. Car's handling nicely. I'm just not used to the slippery roads anymore, living up in Gauteng now.
What's the difference between the car now and last year?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. It's a state secret at this point in time. No, I think it's probably about 20 kilowatts plus minus.
It seems to have a lot more torque as well, because very quick and low revs out the corner.
Yeah, it's got more torque than last year, but it still flattens out at the top. But it's nice. It's nice to drive.
Well, we're looking forward to a dice between you and Enzo to the end, so just keep it there.
Well, it's early days, as I said before. We'll keep it there. We'll try anyway.
Navigator Hodgson signed the Kuhn Golf, still first on the road, out of the service area time control before they headed for stage 4. Rueda's rally was all over. He exits the stage in the boot.
Fernand, it was a bad luck so early on in the evening.
Yeah, it really was. The car was great, and then over the second jump, something let go, and the transfer box, we think one of the shafts of the transfer box broke, and we got no drive at all. So we just stopped there.
And there wasn't enough time to change the box?
No, we were in stage, so we never had enough time. No. It's just very bad luck. So that's what can I say? I mean, Saddle, what can I say?
Roll out the new car, maybe more.
Next rally with a new car is in Cape Town. They've offloaded it this morning. They just phoned us now. It's in the workshop. So brand new car. We'll do what we said we would do, hopefully.
Well, you obviously stopped somewhere very dusty, because you can now go and wash your face.
Oh, yeah, very dusty indeed. We had to walk out for over an hour. You've done that before, I'm sure. Thank you.
Harvick's crew was still working frantically to get the side shaft repaired on the Golf within the allowed service time to avoid incurring a penalty. Meanwhile, Ryan had picked up his pace in the Subaru after the water splash and was posting good stage times. Cape Townian Werner Kukamur and Graham Hooper got it all wrong in their auto spot Subaru Impreza. Which left is the one you were talking about, Graham? Italians Tony Ball and Dean Reardinghuis, the Sasol Polo player, were hoping for a good result in their home event, but it was not to be. They also retired after stage 4. Reigning Class N2 champion Dean Sanders, teamed with Rod Herring, was taking things cautiously in the Team Total Toyota Corolla. And former track racer Charles Vulcan, with Robin Houghton in the navigator's seat, was getting to grips with the dirty stuff in the Class N3 Castrol Runx. Vulcan's class competition came from Wiley Harrington and Willie van Straten in a hastily built Renault Clio. After 3 stages, it was the Clio that was ahead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Keane was not happy about being 4 seconds down on Lawrence at the service halt. His plan was to pull out all the stops to take the lead, but being first on the road, he had the worst of the slippery surface.
Keep on this road. Stay on this road.
Damso had the bit between his teeth on this stage, the longest of the rally at over 39 kilometers. He was blisteringly quick for most of it, but would run into trouble. Keane was still driving on the limit, but despite his best efforts, he was only equal 4th fastest and dropped another 2 seconds to Lawrence. The crew's comments on the stage and as they pull up to the time control says it all.
Stand by. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's it. Holy moly, what a stage. Drenched, huh?
Note the missing rear wheel on the Toyota. Despite driving with no wheel for 3.5 kilometers, Damso still managed to equal fourth fastest time on the stage with Kuhn. Habich was enjoying the swept roads and made the most of it. He was comfortably fastest, a whole 13 seconds ahead of the next man. It was an important win for the Golf crew as they had started the stage 44 seconds behind leader Lawrence. Lawrence and Vermeulen, the winners of Class A7 last season, had stepped up a gear since their victory on the 2002 Great North Rally. With confidence high and a more powerful car, they now posed a serious threat to the faster Class A8 contenders. Former class champions Fecken and Levkovitz were not about to take the Lawrence challenge lying down. They suffered a misfire in the early stages but bounced back on this stage to set second fastest time. Former African rally champion Berger was treating day one as a test session for his new Impreza. With the odometer now working, he was tweaking the handling to suit his driving style as the event progressed. He also complained of a down-on-power engine, a problem traced to a loose turbo intercooler pipe. Despite his troubles, he was leading Group N and Class N4. Damso's wheel loss was the result of a wheel bearing that had pulled out of the hub. The Toyota technicians quickly repaired the damage, and with his spotlights fitted, he was now ready to tackle stage 5. The fifth stage was a short 4.5-kilometer spectator-friendly stage in the Westmead suburb of Pinetown. It attracted a healthy complement of spectators, but unfortunately the action was delayed by an hour due to traffic problems. Kuhn and Hodgson were first into the stage. With darkness setting in, they almost overshot a corner, being forced to use some of the embankment to get around the turn. The tricky corner would claim more victims. No such problems for a cautious Damso and Paisley, but once on the dirt, they coasted along and almost came to a complete stop as they attempted to determine which road to follow. On board with Lawrence and Vermeulen, watch for the digital readout showing the selected gear. Their smooth run is about to come to an end as they make an awful mess of the same corner that almost caught out Kuhn. They recovered well from the wrong slot though and completed the rest of the stage without mishap. It was a costly mistake. They lost 19 seconds to stage winner Habich. How can the Class A7 car of Lawrence be challenging the Class A8 cars, you may ask? Well, it produces about 15 to 25 kilowatts less power than the Class A8 cars, but is about 100 kilograms lighter, which makes up for the power loss. Both use sequential gearboxes, and in all other respects, the cars are much the same. Running through some of the other classes, A6 caters for cars of 1.4 to 1.6 litres, while Class A5 is for cars of up to 1400 cc. Sequential gearboxes are banned in these classes. With drivers unwilling to be first on the road due to the loose surface, the top three crews of Habich, Kuhn and Lawrence all took lateness and incurred a 10-second penalty in an attempt to adjust their road positions. With all three playing the same game, there was no change in the order. At the overnight halt, just 2 seconds separated the top three cars and 43 seconds the top six. The surprise of the rally was the team of Ryan and Carryhill in 8th place.
So expecting a charge from him today, but like we said, the big surprise yesterday is Etienne Lawrence.
Yeah, we got to just keep the pace now. I think, you know, we've been on second on the road. Now this one we used yesterday, so it's an advantage for car number one. But the other ones are new ones, so the surface should be a little bit more slippery for them. So yeah, I've got to try and keep the pace. Yeah.
Are you surprised at your pace at all this year?
I am to a degree, but I've got a lot more power under the bonnet, so I think that's that's a big plus.
Certainly looks like you're using it well, though.
Yeah, I think there's still a little bit more for me to use, but I don't want to stick my neck out too far. As I also said yesterday, it's early days. Long day today, 120 k's, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and after the initial problems, it seems to be going well now.
Yeah, we had a small hiccup or two in the first two stages yesterday and lost a significant amount of time. But once we got the thing going, it wasn't too bad, and we managed to pull back most of it, and we'll see what happens today.
And then I see the top three cars were playing city buggers last night, taking lateness not to be first on the road. How much is that really worth?
Yeah, I think maybe it's psychologically worth more than actual effect on the road, but I think it is slightly better to be better further back in the field. But we in the front now, so we'll just make the best of it.
After all the playing, it didn't work for you.
Maybe we got that wrong there.
You touched on yesterday being a test session for the Toyotas, but it seems to be like that for a lot of the teams and that. And they've had a 4-month break, yet they don't seem to be prepared on day one of a rally. It's quite puzzling, isn't it?
Well, we normally say that whatever time you have in motorsport is 1 week too little, but 4 months really, the car should have been finished. Scott built a new car, he's battling, he's not getting it ready. The Toyota team, like we said, they've been having a torrid rally up to now. And certainly I think the car will work for the next rally, but they've got a new engine, new suspension, new everything, and it's just not coming together. Although Serge is really driving hard. But I think you're right, yes, it should have been ready. 4 months is a hell of a long time, and it's not like they will have to build a spaceship.
Fecken and Levkovitz started day 2 in 6th place after a few problems on day 1, but their commitment here showed that they were determined to improve on their third in class and move up the order. They would not succeed, however. They lost over 15 minutes, stuck on the inside of a hairpin in stage 7 after cutting a corner. On the next stage, they retired with a blown engine. Into stage 8, and veteran rallyist Harrington was still going well in the friendly grocer Renault Clio. He had incurred a 30-second penalty when the car failed to start in the morning holding area, a problem traced to a faulty battery. Still leading Class N3, he was about to lose 1 minute in the stage, putting that class lead under threat. A broken suspension slowed him dramatically and made the car a handful to control. We travel with him and share some hairy moments as he fights the Renault through the stage. He loses so much time that he is forced to let through Costa Kumatarakis and John Costas in their Class S20 Bridgestone Toyota Conquest.
Same spot after the cars have been through, and then we'll see where the lines are and what they've cleared, but it's